One of the most questions that I normally ask is this one: why do you want to marry this woman? Why do you want to marry this man? Because purpose is very, very important. And normally when I ask these questions, some of the answers most of the women and most of the men normally give it to me is that, Pastor, because he's very caring. Pastor, because he's very lovely. Pastor, because he's very respectful. Pastor, he's very helpful. He's very kind-hearted, truthful, very genuine. He fears the Lord. That is the reason why I want to marry. And I always thank them for giving me this very reason. At times, for that reason, at times I go further just to find out the reason why he's saying that the man is very caring or kind-hearted or the woman is very caring. During one counseling section, I 100% remember very well that I went further to find out the reason why he was saying that the man is very caring. Then the lady also said, Pastor, because whenever I close from work, this man will come and pick me up. And not only that, on my way coming, he will buy me McDonald's, large fries, and big soda every evening. And at times too, he takes me to African market to buy whatever that I want. Therefore, he is very caring. Times when they normally give such an answer, I giggled because that is the only reason why he wants to marry a person. I can't even go to the men's one because I want us to hit straight to the nail the reason why some people marry. Now, if I decide to talk straight about the men one, we will not even be living right now. But let me go straight to the main point that we are here to discuss. Purpose why some people marry. Some men marry certain women, and some women marry certain men. Let me submit this unto you that before you intend to marry someone, please do yourself a big favor to ask these two questions, and do yourself a favor to find out the answers thoroughly, thoughtfully, before you jump into any relationship. It's very, very important. The first question is, why does that person want to marry me? Why does this person, of all the women even in this vicinity, in this church, why does he want to marry me? Find out. Or why does this woman want to marry me? Of all the young men in this neighborhood, in this ministry, in this particular area, or where he's coming from, bypassing all of them to come and marry me. Find out the reasons. It's very, very important. Don't always dwell upon what the person tells you, because some people can give you what you want to hear, but at the end of it all, he might be hiding and concealing some of his real intent. Times their intent could be different from what they normally tell you. Because I have typical example. Couple young men came to me. He was not a member of our church, but I knew him way back in Ghana. First entered into relationship, and the relationship couldn't work out. He gave birth to two girls. After 4 years, he happened to meet another young lady, and he intended to marry that woman. So they came to me for counseling and also direction. During the counseling, I asked them the same question. Each of them gave me a very nice reasons, and I really enjoyed their reason. After doing everything for them, but 3 weeks or so, the man decided to come and thank me. When he came, was communicating, he made a very profound statement that, Pastor, this girl is very good. I already have two girls, but I'm praying that this girl will give birth to 2 boys for me. As for girls, I'm okay, but I'm looking for boys, and I'm praying that God will help that this girl will give me only boys. I went further to push the button. So if she fails to give girls as you expect. What can I do? But my desire is to get girls, boys. Have it at the back of your mind. Times some people will not tell you the reason why they are coming to marry you. But later, if certain things happened, then you become a victim. The second question that you must also ask yourself is that, why do I want to marry that person, that man, that woman? My reasons. Apart from knowing all her reasons, you must also find out the reason why you want to marry that person. It's very, very important. What makes the person unique of all other women? Why do I even intend to marry such a person? What is so special about that person? Times some people, especially with the men, they only look at the beauty part of it. Good, but don't ever marry with only one reason, because of beauty. Beauty only precedes marriage, but it doesn't take part. One man of God said it, and I can't forget it. Beauty only precedes marriage, but it doesn't take part. It is the purpose that will take part in your marriage. Purpose is anything. Purpose in anything will always allow you to have a result. Whenever you don't have a purpose, you don't get the result that you are looking for. That is the reason why we must do the best that we could, always to have a purpose before we enter into the relationship. If you don't know the reason why you want to marry that person, I'm telling you, abuse is inevitable. Because purpose is the reason for which something is done. Purpose is the reason for which something is created. And purpose is the reason for which something is existed. Beloved, while searching for his purpose and your purpose of marrying the person, if you fail to search it, let me tell you that eventually you will live to regret it. Because many people, during the time of searching for the purpose, love will blind their eyes. During courtship, many people, their eyes are blind because of love. And let me promise you, anytime you allow love to blind your eyes, eventually real marriage will open your eyes. So we must do the best that we could, always to find out the reason why we want to marry that person and the reason why the person wants to marry us. Have settled that one first before you enter into the relationship. Now let's go back to our main question. What is the purpose of marrying or getting married? Let me begin by telling you that many people get married for a lot of reasons. Many people, they get married for a lot of reasons. Some of the reasons are good. Some of the reasons are bad. The whole reason why many marriages are failing in our days is because either the couple, or either one of them, or both of them, do not understand the purpose and the principle of marriage or successful marriage. Because when you lack knowledge, eventually you will not succeed. Knowledge in every area will always give you success in anything that you are doing. So purpose is very, very important. For the sake of time, let me confine myself to this very evening to 8 unhealthy reasons why some people marry. 8 ungodly reasons why some men marry or women. The next week we shall be seeing another reason, godly reasons why some people marry. The first unhealthy reason or ungodly reason why some people marry is to escape or spite worrisome parents. Some girls, some young men, some young girls, one of their major reasons of leaving home or getting ready to marry quickly is because of, number one, on worrisome parents. It's very important. especially when he is a girl and he's encountering so much from the parent. Number one, either verbal abuse, physical abuse, or sexual abuse is involved. And at times too, a whole lot of anger at home, shouting, cursing, and also quarreling and so many other things, even at home. That is not giving her peace of mind. At times she feel like leaving the home. Some too, almost everything in the house, she is the only person that will be allowed to do, especially if she is the youngest one. And because of that, when A needs her, she will call her. B needs her, she will call her. C needs her, she will call her. When it continues too much, understand that she wake up very early and closes late and sleep late without having time for herself. And always everything that he does is not being appreciated. At times she ends up desiring to leave the home. And that at times normally allow them to give in to whoever that comes into their life, either getting pregnant and leaving the home, or finding every means to marry and leave the home. That is one of the major reasons. Normally, such a marriage or such a relationship normally don't last because it was not founded or grounded on real love. The girl or the boy's main aim of marrying is to get out of the house. In other words, real love, commitment, and faithfulness is not the primary thing by which he is handing on to marry. And those people, anybody that come willing to marry her, that will help her to leave the home, at times they easily give in. And because of that, when they go, because she didn't take time to look for the right person, at times they only endure their marriage without enjoying their marriage. I will not advise any young girl just to leave, go and marry because of what is going on at home, and without taking time to make the right choice. So it's very, very important. Church, the second major unhealthy reason why some people also dwell upon to marry is to marry on the rebound. To marry on the rebound. What do I mean by this? This incident normally happens to people who have been hurt in a former relationship or in a marriage that he was in, especially when she feel discouraged, when she feel depressed, when she feel cheated in that former relationship. Such people are quick to jump into headlong into a new relationship with the first person who comes along. Why? Because they want to do that to prove to certain people that he's okay. Not only that, at times some people also decide to choose certain people just to prove a point to the former person who discouraged him or who discouraged her or who failed to marry her. With that intent, he will pick up somebody that at times they don't even love the person, but to prove a point to certain people. Church, such a marriage is also not healthy because it was not founded on real love. At times we do that with an intent to spite another person. So we will not encourage such a marriage to go on. For the sake of time, the third unhealthy reason some people also dwell upon to marry is for fear of being left out. For fear of being left out. This fear normally affects both men and women, but most especially with women, especially when their ages are increasing. All the younger siblings have already married. Her classmates that she completed school have all of them married, give birth. But to her, over 30, nobody is showing up. 32, nobody is showing up. When women normally get to such a point, it allows them to ask themselves so many questions. What am I going to do? Where did I do wrong? of all the friends, all my friends have married. So because of that, he will ask herself so many questions and begin to stress her out. When this thing begins to happen, whoever show up, at times the person may not even be to her liking, or the quality the person is having is totally opposite from whatever that she's looking for. But for the sake of being late in that relationship, she will end up taking the person with the intent that maybe I will polish the person. And at the end of it all, because it's not founded on love, but to prove a point to some people that have also married, times they don't get what they want, and eventually it becomes a burden to them. That is the reason why I'm saying such marriage at times is also not healthy, because you did not marry the one that you want. The fourth reason, because of time, unhealthy reason why some people marry at times is fear of independence. I use that very word, fear of independence. Because some people, especially with this, because of men, and some women too, some people grow up so even to a point of still depending upon the parent, even at the age of 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. It's still the mother and or the parents still buying everything that they are looking for. Because of that, never once have they ever lived on their own, able to pay any bill, able to buy any clothes, able to take any responsibility, able to do anything for their own self. Even at home where they are, they still have a mate that support them. When it comes to that point, one of the things that I've seen is that, and they traveled and encountered real life and real challenges in life. Time because they can't even take care of themselves, they easily jump into relationship so that they will have time to depend upon somebody else. When such a thing happens, whoever that he will come and marry you, he is only come to marry you so that he will depend upon you. I'm not against that, but such a person, his motive of coming to marry you is for you to do everything for her. His motive to marry you is for you to do everything for him. And such people, they don't know how to pay bills. They don't know how to take responsibilities. They don't know how to buy shoes and clothing. They don't know how to do so many things. Even the house chores, they don't know anything of them. So their major reason of marrying is for you to do something for him or her. In other words, indirectly, you are a partner as well as housemate, because they don't know how to do anything for themselves. Once such a person decides to enter into such a marriage, at times it's not out of love, but rather they need a help from you. If that is the intent of the woman, if that is the intent of the man, such a marriage is not healthy, and at times it doesn't last long. So that is the reason why you must desire to know the intent and the purpose of which the person wants to marry. Point number 5. The sixth unhealthy reason why some people marry is the fear of hurting the other person. The fear of hurting the other person. Normally this happens especially when a young man had walked with a young lady for over 3 to 5 years. Even to the point that the girl had neglected, denied, and rejected the competitors who should have even married her. And if after 3 years or 4 years, 5 years, now they have grown, realize that they are not compatible, and the man want to move on, then the woman will realize that you have wasted my time. Kojo, if you don't marry me, I will kill myself. If you don't marry me, you have allowed my enemies to trap me and gotten me. Please do something about it. If you don't do it, I will kill myself. I will die. And at times, the way some women will say it, it threatens the man. So eventually, out of sympathy, they decide just to marry the person. This also at times happens, especially when the woman had invested so much in you, man. And you decide now that I'm mature, because of age difference or educational difference, you know that now he's not your match. At times it hurts some of the women. If care is not taken, they want to do harm to themselves. If the man is not still having genuine love for you, and out of sympathy, because of what you have said, he wants to marry you so that you don't do yourself any harm. Eventually, such marriage can come on. But whoever that has sympathy on you, at times, will not love you genuinely from his heart. And that is the reason why a lot of people, when they have a big farm, they still have a small garden, because the true love is not there. He married you out of something. He doesn't want you to even commit suicide or hurt yourself. Such a relationship, one has the love, the other doesn't have the genuine love. And if care is not taken, the man or whoever that has sympathy can also be sleeping outside because she was not having a true love for you. And such a relationship is unhealthy, because such a person, at times, he doesn't have time to sit down with you and discuss everything thoroughly. For the sake of time, point number 6, the 6th unhealthy reason why some people marry. Some also marry to be a therapist or a counselor to the other person. Some marry to be a therapist or a counselor to the other person. Times it may sound funny and crazy. It's happening to a lot of people. Especially when someone is bereaved. Or someone is in a situation that is helpless. Certain people take advantage out of counseling, out of all these things, suggestion and advice that he's giving. They will end up marrying the person. Church, we must think about it. For the sake of my time, the 8th point is an 8th ungodly reason why some people also marry. It's because of having sex with the other person. Also buying some men, and they have no choice, or buying some women, they have no choice but to marry the person. And most especially this normally happens, especially in churches, whereby the woman is willing to let the cat out. And because of the position the man is also having in that church, he had to do nothing but to marry the person because of what has happened between both of them. Either sex or pregnancy. And at times, genuinely, one of them is not willing to. They decided to go out, but that wasn't his intent of marrying the person. Church, these are some of the reasons that are going on in the life of many people, and because of that, they have entered into certain relationship, and yet their heart is not in the relationship. The last unhealthy reason why some people marry is because of money. And this normally happens, especially 80% women. I knew a sister way back in Africa who was a Christian, a new Christian. Decided to go to school with, and met one Muslim guy who is somehow half Muslim, but the father was a well-to-do. Because of money, do you know, to make the long story short, she gave herself to this man. And I have always been asking her, why did you do this? So and so, according to her, because of the money. Thinking that she will have the money and come back and serve the Lord. It became a trap. And eventually, she couldn't come back again. She's now a Muslim. Unhealthy reason why she married. So I bring my answers to a close. Let me submit this unto you. Especially with the young girls and young men who are about to marry. Sit down. Think about it. Find out the reason why you want to marry the woman. Find out the reason why you want to marry the man. Find out the reason why the man wants to marry you, so that you will not make mistake. Don't just find out based upon what he tells you alone. Go every length and breadth to find out the reason. Else, you will live to regret. That is the reason why we have a lot of divorces going on. But you can also learn lessons from whatever that I'm telling you right now. It's not over. And even if you are in a relationship, Sit down, ponder over it. It's still not too late. Find out. And if there's any counseling, go, so that God will grace your marriage and you have a successful marriage. Because in life, if you know the purpose why the person married or why you are marrying the person, and both of you know the purpose of each other, you will have a successful marriage. Marriage was not meant for a man to endure. Marriage was meant for a man to enjoy. I pray, wherever that you are, any relationship that you are in, may the Lord give you the grace to have a successful marriage because of your understanding. God bless you so much. Hopefully next week, we shall be looking at another 8 healthy reasons why some people marry, or 8 healthy reasons why everyone should dwell upon to marry. Don't miss it. I'll come on your way next week. God richly bless you.